Here's what God is saying. So, with this prayer, so they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I will bless you. God wants to brand you and me, not with a physical branding, putting something on our skin or anything, but he wants to brand us so that everyone else will know that is a child of God right there. That is a son of God. That is a daughter of God. And you guys know what the branding is? The branding is the blessings that we just read in that prayer. God says, how will people know that you are my belonging, that you belong to me, that you are my son, my daughter? They will know because of these blessings. These blessings that you receive will identify you as belonging to me and to no one else. How cool is that? We benefit from the blessings, and at the same time, it tells others that we belong to Jesus. No greater privilege than to be his son, his daughter. 1 Peter 2:9 explains it very well. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness and into his marvelous lights. Yes, God blesses everyone. He blesses evil people, he blesses good people. But there is a special blessing that comes to those who fully commit themselves and their families to God. And we want to take that time here in 2017 to say, you know what, Lord, I want to devote me and my family. We want to devote ourselves to you. Just like the children of Israel had that opportunity, the children of Israel knew exactly what they had to do to receive these blessings. It was outlined for them, clear as day, just written there for them. And for some reason, they did not take advantage. They left blessings on the table. It kind of sucks to leave money on the table, right? Well, the children of Israel left blessings on the table. They're like, there's those blessings. I should get those. They should benefit my family. They're right there for me to take, but no, I won't take them. For some reason, they just could not do it. You and I have the same opportunity here. Here in 2017, as we begin this new year, we have an opportunity to reach out and take those blessings that God has for us. The children of Israel, for some reason, there was something in the way that did not allow them to receive all the blessings that God had offered to them. What is it that is holding us back from receiving all that God wants to give to us? What is it that is keeping me and my family away from receiving the favor of God? I finished with the illustration of a story that is found in the book written by S.D. Gordon. And the story is told about a little town nestled in the foothills somewhere that was actually called Sleepy Hollow. This little town was called Sleepy Hollow because it was always dead. There was nothing to look at there. Everything was so gloomy and down. The plants were all dead. I mean, there was grass growing on the sidewalk. It just looked really unkept and not attractive at all. And finally, a lot of the citizens decided, you know what, we've had enough of this. We need to make our town great. We need to prosper it. We need to make it nice. We want it to look like a nice town so people could want to live here. Nobody's going to want to live here if it looks like this. And so they decided, what is the best way to prosper this town? And so they decided that they needed to find a supply of water that would come into the town, that would, provide water for the trees, for the plants, for the crops, and prosper that little town. The rainfall just wasn't enough. And so they decided to walk down a few miles, and they saw this lake up on a hill. And they decided, you know what, we need to find a way to get the water from the lake down to Sleepy Hollow, our town. And so they decided to get a pipe and go ahead and connect that lake somehow down to Sleepy Hollow. And so they worked on that, and finally, one day, they decided to go finish up the work, and they decided to check it out, try their experiment out. And sure enough, water began flowing from that lake on the hill down to the town of Sleepy Hollow. Days went by and weeks went by, and that town, that dead town of Sleepy Hollow, began to be revived. And it began to become a nice-looking town. People started coming back and saying, you know what, this is a nice town. We want to live here. Look at all these trees, beautiful trees. Look at how green it is. It became a popular little town and began growing and growing, and everyone wanted to live there. But one day, there was a problem. One day they realized the water wasn't flowing down to the town of Sleepy Hollow any longer. What was the problem? So they sent a couple of citizens, went up, checking the pipe, went up to the lake, and they're like, I don't know what's wrong. Why isn't there water coming down? I can't find the problem. And all of a sudden, weeks went by, months went by, and the town of Sleepy Hollow returned to its dead state. It was ugly again. And all the citizens that had come to live there because it was so beautiful left and began to find another town to live in. So just a few citizens were left in that town of Sleepy Hollow, and finally they received a note one day. It was not written very well. It was poorly written, and the note said the following, with horrible grammar and spelling. It said, if you'll just pull the plug out of the pipe about 8 inches from the top, you'll get all the water you want. Just like that. So the citizens decided, to go up the hill. The men went up the hill, dug up the pipe, found the plug that some vandal had inserted there. And they were amazed at how much water was being held back by a little plug there. So they unplugged the pipe, and out flowed all the water back down to the little town of Sleepy Hollow. Weeks went by, started to revive the little town of Sleepy Hollow again, and all the citizens came back to live there. It's amazing how much of God's blessings can be held back from us when we plug our lives with meaningless things. God says, unplug everything that is meaningless in your life because I want to overflow you with blessings that you can never imagine. I want to give you everything that I have to offer. I got to think to myself, what am I doing that is holding me and my family back from receiving all that God wants to give to me? What is it that is holding you back from receiving all that God wants to give to you? Here in 2017, God wants to bless your family in every way possible. He wants to give you all His goodness. He just needs one thing from you. He needs you to clear the blockage. At this time, I'm going to call Elder Hoppus up here, Dr. Hoppus. I wanted to, before I make an appeal to you all and your families, I want to start with myself, and I know Pastor Krause, you want to start with your family as well. We want to be looking at the mirror first and foremost, saying, Lord, I want my family to receive all the blessings that you have for me, and I want to clear any blockage from my life.
I will ask family of Pastor Craig to come up, Pastor Krause and family.